Welcome back, everyone. I'm out hanging out in a garden here, just enjoying the beautiful flowers. And I wanted to do something really fun today with you, which was make a really nice, fast to make soap that you can have for yourselves or to give away. So we'll be making these bars today with some natural botanicals in them, as well as we'll do some other fun soaps as well. It's a glycerin soap, so it's for folks that really want to make soap quickly, that don't want to be messing around with lye, you know, some of those chemicals that can cause caustic burns when you're making the soap making process. And then want to try something that's really good for the skin. Glycerin is a humectant, so it keeps that moisture in your skin, and sort of hypoallergenic too. So let's check out what we're going to do today in the kitchen. So earlier this week I harvested some flower petals and I dehydrated them for today's soap making recipe. So let's head on into the kitchen and get making some soap. This soap recipe is really quick and easy, and you'll have soap within 2 hours. Let's go. So here we are set up in the kitchen, and I've got everything that we need to make the glycerin soap. So let's take a look. We'll need a cutting board, a little jar to mix the glycerin in, some rubbing alcohol, because glycerin soap tends to get little bubbles in it. We want to help prevent that. I picked up some Crafter's Choice Premium Crystal Clear Glycerin handmade soap base, so we can see how clear that is. You see my hands through there. You know, you can pick up stuff like this off Amazon. That's where I got this one, or you know, Hobby Lobby or Michaels. So it's super easy. And then of course your molds. Now I've got some fancy molds here. This one, they're all silicone. This one's got some flower patterns in it. This one's just your standard soap bars. I want to try a little experiment today with one or more of these. These are actually molds for succulent cacti. So I thought that would be pretty cute for like little mini soaps, you know, when we have guests and stuff like that. So I'm going to experiment with those. Those are new off Amazon. Of course down here I've got sort of my food grade food coloring. I can use any, like, just make sure the food coloring is safe for like food or for cosmetics. So I've got different colors here we can mix. And then from the garden, I've dried some petals from some of my flowers. So this one is Star Anise. That one smells like licorice. And this one right here, this is from some Black Eyed Susans. And this one is my wild bee, well, not my wild bee balm. This is just like a bee balm that it's kind of like a pinkish color. The wild bee balm slash bergamot is a beautiful purple color. So we'll put these in some of the soap bars as well. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to want to do is guesstimate how much glycerin we need for our project. I might do this in stages. I might start with, pouring out the little flower ones first, doing my different like color dyes and things like that. It will kind of harden over time, so I might want to work rather quickly. So let's do the flower ones first. I'll take off a few chunks of this and we'll get it set up in the microwave. So it's typically not very difficult to cut. So you can kind of cut it down these little score marks here. You can see it's just like butter kind of going through here, like kind of like firm texture of butter. I'm going to kind of cut these into the little cubes that they have them pre-cut out at, just so it melts a lot easier. I kind of guess how much I'm going to need for this little project. Maybe, I don't know, this is probably too much, but let's go with this to start. All right, I've got this glass jar here, and I'm just going to put a few little chunks in there. All right, let's start melting this. We're going to go at 30-second intervals in the microwave until it's completely melted. And remember, this will be extremely hot, so be very careful. All right, so this is 30 seconds in, and it's looking great. So this is the point if you wanted to add essential oils or anything like that, you can add that in right now. I'm going to start pouring this into the molds. If you want it clear, you leave it like that. I want to do this one with a little bit of red. So we're going to go in with a little bit of the cherry. Remember, less is more with this, or you're going to have an extremely intense color. Put a couple little drops in here. Hopefully don't overdo it. Or you can always reassess if you need. There's 3 drops. I've got a little stir stick here. I'm going to kind of go in and, yeah, see, 3 drops. Look how red that is. I'll add a little bit more. Another 2 maybe. Oh, geez, that was 3. Whoops. Oh, that looks cute. I don't know, should I experiment with more colors? Let's see what I got. I have like a lavender here. We could add a mix of that. I don't know my color theory. Those of you guys that do or know what we can expect. Little charts online you guys can get and figure it out. Let's do a couple. Wow! Jeez, I meant to do that. All right, I think that'll be pretty good. Ooh, it's kind of a nice dark wine color. All right, let's get this poured here. All right, so we're gonna start in this one. Remember, this is like super hot. I'm just gonna pour it in this one. This is like the rose mold. Ooh, that's cool. And then I'm gonna do this one as well. Let's do this red one as well, and that should be it. Okay, perfect. Now, because glycerin soap is prone to developing these little air bubbles you can see on the surface there, what I like to do is go with the alcohol and just spread. Oh, see, it's gone. When you do that, see the bubbles? Poof, gone. Some people with this at the bottom as well, because you can't get bubbles at the bottom of your soap mold. So, okay, so there's that one. So I'm just gonna clean out my little jar, and I'm gonna do these guys next, different color. Okay, so all cleaned out. Again, it's soap, so it just washes out pretty fast. So about 6 of these. It seems like each of these takes about 3 of the cubes. So we're gonna do that right now. All right, so we're all set. I'm gonna try something a bit different. I'm gonna pour in the clear glycerin base into the mold, and I remember to spray the mold bottom with alcohol this time. I'm gonna maybe try doing a few little drips of different colors and like swirling them throughout and see how that looks. This is so fun. I love experimenting with this. You can't do anything wrong, really. If you don't like it, just melt it down and do it again, you know? So I'm gonna put that in there, that one in here. That takes about 3 cubes for each one of these. Okay, that's pretty good. Now let's experiment. All right, so I'm just gonna do a couple little drips. So it's kind of heavier. Ooh, look at that, that's cool. And I'm just gonna do like little swirls. Eventually I'll get my little stir stick. A little bit of yellows in this one. I don't know, what do we got here? Oh, we got some blueberry. Let's do that one. Gotta work fast before this starts to kind of settle up. All right, I don't know. This might be a bad idea. Let's experiment, guys. Looks like, hey, look, it's like kind of following into the flower pattern there. Look, you could probably try to get some in the actual petal zone there. That's neat. Yeah, because it is heavier than the glycerin base there. So isn't that, hey, that's cool. I didn't know it did that. That's another way you can kind of experiment with it, see what it looks like. Of course, that uses a lot of your dye. But I like that, that's kind of cool. So yeah, this one I'm going to try just swirling it around, see what it does. And maybe letting it set with some of the swirls, like not completely mixing it. Kind of tie-dye look. And it's going to be heavier, so you can see it'll sort of rest at the bottom in the pattern. So I'm kind of just painting with it in here. So that's interesting. I'm learning something here. And this one, I'm actually, you know what? I'm actually going to practice like not mixing it up. I'm just going to see what it's going to do if I kind of let it get into the mold there. More of the red there for that. Ooh, geez, that's not good. Ah, outtake. So I'm going to stick it down there, get it into the petal. There we go. Paint this one a little bit more. Kind of like a really pretty pansy or something. Okay. Well, this is quite the art experiment, let me tell you. Okay, and then when you're kind of happy with what you got, then don't forget to spray it again with alcohol. Yeah, that one wouldn't be as weird if I hadn't have dropped the top in there. Okay, so now we're just going to spray alcohol to burst those little itty bitty bubbles on the surface, break them up. Okay, good enough. Okay, great. So we're gonna let this set now for a couple hours. Let's go on and make the rest of our soaps. Next ones I'm gonna work with are my little succulent molds. I think these are gonna be really cute, you know, if you have like guests over and stuff like that. And there's lots of different molds you can get online. So I'm gonna dye, use these dyes here. So I've got chartreuse and kiwi. I mean, they look fairly similar to me. We'll kind of make a really dark green for these cactus molds. All right, so I'm not gonna go light on this stuff at all. So again, you can put in your essential oils at this point, and you can put in your dyes. Again, everything has to be for soaps and safe. Oh, there's a little bit that's not melted. I'm going to pop this in the microwave for a couple seconds, but oh, that's the color I want. Perfect. All right, 2 more seconds in the microwave and we should be ready to pour. So, got these all out here. Remember, again, spray the inside of these things with alcohol because there will be bubbles in this kind of a setup for sure. And then we're just gently going to pour in mold here. These ones don't hold as much as you'd think, so just be careful. And that one's, this will be obvious. I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out. Again, it's really hot, be careful. Probably should be wearing gloves. See, that one's really small. And while those are setting, last but not least, this is the part I'm most excited about. This is doing the clear soaps with my fresh garden dried flower petals. This is really exciting. The glycerin I bought is ultra clear, like 10 out of 10 for clarity. You can see how clear these bars are, so we're gonna be able to see the flowers throughout. So this is really awesome. Important, use dry flower petals. I think it works so much better and doesn't get all yucky. So I've melted some more right here. Let's work in little batches. So what I want to do is I'm going to start maybe pouring this in layers. Just do a little bit here. Oh, geez. Alcohol spray. I always forget. All right, so we're going to start by doing a little bit of alcohol spray again in our mold for the bubbles. And I'm just going to start maybe just in a few little layers. We're just going to do a little bit here. And you can be as creative as you want with this. This is what I love about this. You can just make everyone unique, individual. These are great Christmas presents, bridal shower presents. If you have kids, you might want to get like those little plastic toys or something and stick one in the middle as it's partially setting. That'd be kind of cool. So like you can do so many cool things with this. There you go. I mean, this one, I might just do one straight with anise. If you want to use like, an essential oil, like kind of like licorice or smells licoricey, that would be the one to use for this one. Bee balm, I'll say this one right here, it smells mostly like oregano, so that's another idea. Again, I'm really scent sensitive, so I'm just leaving these plain. Just gonna kind of fill all these up here. I don't know if I'll be able to do all in this first pour, but all right, that's a good bit to get started with. Let's start this, see how it goes. It's always going to move around, and that's why I've got my little stir stick to kind of push this around after, so don't arrange it until after the fact. Looks like I can get 2 bars out of this. Looks like I could have got a smaller mold too. All right, so let's push this around with my little stick here. So these are probably going to want to float, is what I'm learning here, so that's okay. Just move them around as to how you want them to be. Still look super pretty. Look at that. Hard to see with the glare on there, but there you go. Very, very pretty. As things set, you can kind of maybe push them down a little bit more as it gets a little bit thicker. So maybe we'll do that in a minute. Let me get a bit more soap base. Looks like I might be able to do maybe 2 more with what I bought. I bought 2 pounds of the soap base, so all right. This might only get a really small little bar out of, so let's just put whatever we have left over in there, and that's okay too. Now, some of the star anise has some seeds in it, so you'll see some little black flecks. That's just seeds, actually. So that's really cool. All right, so this one, like I said, it's going to be like a half bar, and that's all right. We'll just kind of move this around, make it all pretty. And this one is purely star anise. This one has Black-Eyed Susan and the bee balm. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Very good. All right. So when you're happy with your arrangement, make sure, again, just do a little spritz with the rubbing alcohol so don't get the bubbles. Now we're going to let all of our soap sit for a couple hours and we'll check back in with you. They've been setting for about maybe 15-20 minutes. And I want to show you a really cool thing that's been happening. As you can see there with the bee balm and that little purple bit there, it's really interesting. The bee balm has turned purple in this glycerin soap base, which tells me, it's an acid base indicator, so that's really cool. So it's changed color. It's not the pink that it used to be, and it's giving off a purple dye, and as well as the Black-Eyed Susan petals, it's giving off a yellow dye. So very natural dyes for the soap. So that's something to consider as well if you want to make some natural color changes to these soap bars. The flowers will do it for you. Okay, so we're about an hour and a half, 2 hours later. Let's do the big reveal. So I'm going to start with these ones right here. So it's pretty easy, just peel them out of the silicone mold like this. and they really just kind of like pop out. So we're going to take a look. This is the one I did the red dye in to kind of make it look like a rose. So let's see here. Whoa, that's beautiful. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. The clarity is amazing. Like, look at that through the light. So that's beautiful. Let's take a look at the rest. All right, so I took this one out with the food coloring, and this one didn't turn out as expected. I think I really should have pre-mixed that. So there's a bit of food coloring kind of stuck at the top. So don't do as I do with that. Mix it throughout, but I think some of it did in here, and it's really pretty. Just some of this purple didn't. So that'll rinse off really well. Again, it's just soap. It's just going to wash off. You may want to keep that one for yourself and kind of rinse off some of the color. Again, once it's really mixed through, it's not going to stain or anything. It's just because this has a big glob of it that didn't mix into the glycerin soap base. That's why there's a little bit of stain on my hand. All right, so the other red one turned out really well. And this one, not too bad, but again, I don't think I'll do that again, sort of dripping the color into it. I'll mix it beforehand. Again, some of it mixed in, but some of it did not. So there's a little bit on the surface there. Again, if you didn't really like this and you don't want to use this at all, just melt it back down in the microwave. The colors will intermingle and you can re-pour. I am really, really excited for the cactus ones because you really don't know what you're going to get. This is what I can see, but I don't know what I'm going to find. So let's find out. Oh, wow. This one's cool. Look. Whoa. Look at that. Look at the detail on it. Ooh, I like that. So this is more of your like little decorative soaps, you can set up in your bathroom. You can decide whether you want to use them or not, or give them away as wedding party favors or things like that. So that's one. That is really cool. That is amazing. This is perfect for decorative purposes in the bathroom, but it is really functional. Royce thinks it's something to eat. Sad to say it's not. Yeah, so, or, when you're done with it, you can have these little decorations, melt them down and put them into soap that you want to use. I mean, you can certainly use this as soap. It's just got a lot of little knobs on it there. This one, I can tell how that's going to look. That's just a very cute little cactus. I should say these molds can also be used for making candles, so I might do that after this. They have multiple different uses to them. So there's the last of them. I think they're super cute, really tiny little succulent plants there and cacti, so very neat. Okay, I'm really looking forward to these ones, as you guys know. So let's take a look. These ones are just going to pop out very easily. Ooh, look at the clarity on that. It's like glass almost. Oh, wow. That's perfect. Oh, neato. And one of them sunk to the bottom, so it's actually all the way through. Great. Let's take a look at this one. This one accidentally bumped, so there's a little bit of a ripple in it. That's my fault. I kind of bumped it when it wasn't fully cured yet. So, I mean, not a big deal. Soap. So let's take a look. So this has actually got a nice yellow hue to it, and that is all because of the Black-Eyed Susans in there. Ooh, this is great. Look at that. Look how clear that is. You can see my hand right through it, and you can see the beautiful flowers. I'll take these outside in a minute so you can truly appreciate it. And again, the purples and the yellows mixed through on this one. For this is like naturally dyed. I did not stick any colorant in here. So that's natural plant dye in there. And all these plants, they're not harmful for your skin. Don't put anything in there that's harmful. Just purely decorative. So here we go. There's this one. Oh, wow, cool. Now this one's my little half-sized one. But that's okay. You know what? I actually like it. Good for travel. You can kind of cut these up into little tinier squares to take backpacking or whatever. It's all good. Just don't wash your hands near a waterway, obviously. But yeah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, let's go outside and take a look at them in the sunlight, these ones. Yeah, so there you go. Very clear. You can see all the little flowers in there. That's beautiful. So let's take a look at this soap here with the Black-Eyed Susan and the beautiful bee balm. So you can see the natural dye in it has made it kind of a yellow color with a little bit of the purple. Beautiful. And this one, I put in the bee balm in there, and I put a couple extra just as it was starting to cure, so it didn't sink in and didn't react with the glycerin soap to do that acid-base indicator thing. So we've got to the pink and the purples, and of course a bit of the star anise in there. So this one turned out really nicely. So there you go. From my 2 pounds of glycerin soap base there, I made all these little soaps. I'm really happy with all of them except these two. I made a bit of a mistake trying to be a little artistic there, but that's okay. My favorite, of course, are these ones with petals of flowers from my garden. I think they're really special. Now to store these, you should wrap them in plastic and keep them in a cool, dry place before use. So if you're going to give this away in the short term, I just wrap it in a bit of parchment paper and with a bit of jute and beautiful little bit of the star anise. Doesn't that look beautiful? Just before I sign off here, I took those two flower soaps that I didn't like, the ones that had the dye right all over the petals here, and I mixed the colors together, basically melted it back down again, and this is what I got. So look at the sunlight, it's a beautiful kind of olivey green color, really neat, so worked out in the end. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video and you learned something new today and you'll have a new fun craft to participate in. All right, have a great week as always, take care.